Today we've got a great video for you guys going over the patch notes to Season 4 Reloaded. We're just going over the Warzone stuff. We don't really play multiplayer or zombies that much, and the people that watch my channel probably just care about Warzone. So we're just going to focus on Warzone today. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the patch notes. Are you excited for Season 4? And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. All right, Season 4 Reloaded patch notes. Drop into the reimagined Fringe and new Eclipse strike map on multiplayer. We don't care that much about multiplayer. We're going to touch mostly on Warzone, but I'll still talk a little bit about like new maps and stuff. We're going to get the Fringe and Eclipse strike map on multiplayer and celebrate COD tunes alongside new cell-shaded playlists and events across all three modes. I'm assuming that's going to have to do with some of the Beavis and Butthead stuff. Like we're going to get a cell-shaded version of Rebirth for a little bit, probably as an LTM, including new look versions of Liberty Falls and Rebirth Island. Get all the details here. Okay, so here's what we're getting. So we're getting an event for Beavis and Butthead. Two biggest idiots in animation are getting off the couch and joining the fight. Earn XP in multiplayer, zombies, or Call of Duty Warzone. I love how they call it Call of Duty Warzone instead of just Warzone. That's weird. I've never noticed that before. While the event is live to earn free rewards like the new Olympia Special and Pickaxe Melee. This is going to be the new shotgun. That's all we're getting for weapons is a new shotgun and a new pickaxe. Hooray. Maps, let's see. Train for adjustments for Verdansk. The train is rolling into this half season with a new familiar upgrades all aboard. A new buy station is going to be on the train, and a UAV tower is going to be on the train. Woohoo! I mean that's a dub, but also woohoo! All right, so new modes for Warzone. We heard about these last at the last update. We heard these are coming in the mid-season update. This is truly one of the most diabolical updates I've ever seen, sadly. Well, we're gonna figure it all out. I've not seen any of this yet. All right, so new mode for Warzone. We're getting Havoc Royale, limited time mode. Havoc Royale brings chaos to Verdansk as operators drop into specific zones, downtown, airport, and train station with their loadout already equipped. So kind of like Plunder, you'll drop in with your loadout already. Inspired by the Havoc modes from Modern Warfare 2 and 3, this Call of Duty Warzone exclusive variant mixes unpredictable modifiers with high-stakes survival. Adapt fast, whatever. Okay, I don't care about all that. Below is a breakdown of some of the details players can expect in this new mode. Overview: 44 players in quads, 15-minute matches, so short matches. It's going to be in just like small areas of Verdansk. So like one game it'll be at train station, one game it'll be at where was the other place? Downtown. One time it'll be at an airport or whatever. Buy stations now offer a unique set of items tailored for the Havoc experience. Squad buyback. Don't we already have that? Armor plate, gas mask. Oh, this is just saying it's going to be like a limited buy station. Okay, so squad buyback, armor plate, gas mask, door barricade, munitions box, redeploy drone, hand cannon, and UAV. So you can't buy like maybe like precision airstrikes and stuff like that. Modifiers. So this is where like each time the gas collapses, so through the 6 gas collapses, a single modifier will be active at a time. And so like each circle, you'll have a different modifier, it sounds like. These modifiers randomly rotate, dramatically changing the rules of engagement. 2 special finale modifiers can occur towards the end of the match. Okay. Oh, and they'll be like their own separate thing. So the standard modifiers during the game will be charge jump, perform superhuman leaps. Holding the jump button increases the height. So like you can jump or you can hold it and then launch yourself. And your movement velocity affects horizontal distance. So you'll be able to go like forward some too. Cranked, outlines of enemies flash red periodically. Operators gain a proximity HUD, tracker, footsteps, faster reloads and plating, and a visible countdown timer. When the timer hits 0, you explode. So this is like Cranked in multiplayer. I love this. I've been saying for a long time they should have a Warzone Cranked. So it sounds like that's going to be like one of the things that can happen. Open caches to extend time. Eliminations fully reset it to restart the time so you don't die. Crouch potato, not couch potato, but crouch potato. Crouching transforms operators into a sack of potatoes. Okay. Movement and jumping remain possible. While crouched, operators regenerate health and armor and less damaged. Huh? What does that even mean? So if you crouch, it turns you into a sack of potatoes. Movement and jumping remain possible. While crouched, operators regenerate health and armor and less damage. Okay. I see you. Everyone has an always-on advanced UAV and googly eyes. Bro, this is what they're spending their time on instead of getting rid of the cheaters. Okay. All right, cool. Operators, melonheads. Operators sport oversized watermelon heads. Headshots cause explosive damage. Body damage is reduced. Headshot damage is multiplied. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Incentivizes hitting headshots, but the headshot target's much bigger. Make it rain. Ammo and cash are abundant. Bullets are removed from your reserves, not your magazine. Essentially infinite fire. Fire sale is also active. So you're saying infinite fire. So basically you just keep shooting and you never have to reload, I'm assuming. Unsure what that means. But basically a lot of money and fire sales active, so you can buy a lot of shit in that part. Unregulated airspace. Airspace restrictions are lifted. More kill streaks can be used simultaneously and are more frequently found as ground loot. Interesting. So there's going to be a lot of precisions, a lot of mortars, a lot of bunker busters, and any of that stuff. And then finale modifiers. Showdown. All players receive identical loadouts. All nearby weapons are removed from the environment. That's crazy. I wonder if it's random loadouts or if it's always like a set loadout. Rising gas. Gas begins to rise vertically, forcing players to climb to safety. Ooh, interesting. So like if you're near a building, you got to get on top of the building. That's actually kind of interesting. I like that. It's going to be weird to get used to, but I actually low key, like, I think for me, Battle Royale has always been interesting because it's always an outward in circle collapse. But if anybody ever built like a vertical style Battle Royale where you have to climb levels and the gas pushes from the bottom up, that'd be really cool. So this is kind of like towards that idea. New casual mode, 12 players, 32 bots. It's interesting they actually said the number of players and bots for this, because for solos, they never came out and said, solo BR casuals, they never said the number of players and bots. We assume it's the same as everything else, but they never actually on paper typed it out. So basically Resurgence casuals with 12 players, 32 bots. So there's still going to be 12 players on the map. That's still a decent amount of players. So that's going to be pretty decent. Like, I want to say on big map, it's 28 and then like 120 something bots. And so that's like 1/6 of the like 1/6 or 1/8 of the player base is players. This is like literally 1/4 of the players is players. So it's going to be a little more real players compared to bots. All right, returning ranked play resurgence, competitive mode. See details in the ranked play section. So we'll touch on that in a minute. Playlist, solos, duos, and quads for Battle Royale. So no trios still. Solos, duos, and quads for... So it's like whenever there's ranked, they take out trios no matter what. There's no trios if there's ranked. Because we have ranked play BR and we have ranked play resurgence. Plunder quads for Dansk. Battle Royale casual, solos, and quads. Havoc quads, Battle Royale, or Resurgence casual, quads. So no solos, Resurgence casual. Interesting. That's very interesting. And they're keeping solos in for another little bit. All right, ranked play. This is what Jacob's talking about. Let me read Jacob's messages real quick. Okay. Going from 4th to 1st in Resurgence ranked is a 75 SR bonus. So they're really incentivizing winning, it sounds like. You don't lose SR for dying anymore. That's interesting. So this could be reverse 9/11. This is like a Christmas for me because I die a lot. Well, I always thought that a death fee on Resurgence was stupid because the whole point of Resurgence is to push. And so a death fee should be something that you are like, you should be incentivized to take the risk of dying to try to get more kills. Resurgence has always been about pushing and getting kills. And so when they started adding a death fee, making it so that you had to like play slower and stuff, it's just kind of lame. So no death fees, I think, is huge. So let me go through these though. I'll go through these. While crouched, we're about to have the biggest camping session in Warzone history. Literally, bro. Yes, Hunter, there's still casuals. There's still going to be casuals in solos and quads on big map, and then just quads on Rebirth for now. They'll probably add solos on Rebirth too at some point, if I had to guess. What time will the update happen, Taz? I'm going to be honest, it's probably going to be at like noon or 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Noon or 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. All right, let's go. All right, so ranked play resurgence. Returning ranked play resurgence competitive mode. Ranked resurgence is back in Warzone, bringing the intensity of resurgence with the structure and integrity of competitive play. In addition to an overhaul of kill SR, placement SR, and bonuses for division deltas. That means like if somebody's 3 divisions above you, you get more points than if somebody's below you for kills. This iteration introduces a major update to the skill rating system in Resurgence ranks, shifting progression from individual performance to a team-based SR. Our hope with this change is that players can focus more on making sure that their squad is successful and to promote direct teamwork in successful combat encounters, eliminating the worries that over last hits or securing kills for SR should focus the gameplay in the same direction that our changes to SR rewards and placement are trending. Winning a match and defeating your opponents is paramount in ranked. See, this is kind of backwards to me. I think Resurgence rank should all be about who can push and get as many kills as possible. Yeah, they want you to be camping. I think, to me, the essence of Resurgence is you die and come back, so why you should be a little more aggressive. But whatever. And this is, to me, like, Resurgence ranked ruined Rebirth pubs for me a long time ago. The moment they added Resurgence ranked, it caused everybody to play ranked and pubs as if it's ranked. And it just kind of ruined the essence of Resurgence, which is just to run around, have fun, shoot a bunch of people, die, come back, get a couple kills, die, come back. Like the fun of Resurgence. The whole point of resurging is that you come back and you can be aggressive and not feel like you have to play your life every time. And so them doing this and really heavily relying on winning a match and defeating your opponents is paramount, rather than getting some kills and say you don't win a match, but you're at least like taking a chance at getting a kill. I don't like that, but whatever. Overview: squad size, trios, player count 45, map Rebirth Island. So that's all normal trios stuff. How SR is earned: team-based SR. Players now earn SR collectively for all team kills and assists rather than individually. So I don't hate this. I do not hate this. This is one of my things that I've never really loved about ranked on both Big Map and Resurgence, is I do think that if somebody on your team gets a kill, everybody on the team should get credit for it, because a lot of times I may not have an angle on somebody, but I may call out that there's a ping over there and say, oh, somebody pinged on the map. There's a ping over here. I may not have an angle for that shot, but if my teammate gets a kill for that, I should get, like, as a team, we should all get something because we all work together towards that kill. Or if I down somebody and then they get rezzed and my teammate finishes them right as they get rezzed, I don't get credit for that kill. My teammate does. I think everybody should get credit for that kill. So I kind of am okay with that. I will say the reason they've been hesitant to do that is because they don't want people to feel like they're carrying other people. And so, like, if one person's dropping 15 kills and then one person on the team's dropping no kills and then everybody's getting 15 kills worth of SR, it's kind of weird. So updated SR systems: kill SR, placement SR, and division delta bonuses. Kill SR cap adjusted per round to align with the new team focus system. All right, so awarded SR by placement. So top 15, you get 0. Top 10, you get 10 points. Top 13, you get 10 points. Top 10, you get 20. Top 8, you get 30. Top 6, you get 50. So it's like you get 10, 10, 10. Then you get 20 more, and then you get 25 more. And then if you go from top 4 to winning, you get an extra 75. So definitely they're placing a heavy emphasis on winning. But here's my question is, like, how much you're going to be paying deployment fees? So you're paying a little bit more for deployment fees, because in Big Map at Diamond 1, I'm paying like 65 to get into games. Here you're going to be paying 80. So if you get to like a Diamond 1, which I think is like the average good player can get to Diamond, you're going to need basically to get top 6 and get I'm confused. Is this how much SR you're getting per kill? So for you're only getting 2 points per kill? Where's the... They don't say anywhere on here about like amount that you're getting per kill. So this is how much more or less you're getting per kill. So like if you kill somebody of the same... I'm confused. Because it says updated SR systems kill SR, but then it never really says anything about kill SR here. Yeah, but there's still like a base amount, right? Because like if you kill somebody that's the exact same level as you, you get a base amount. And then if you kill somebody one level above you, you get 3 more. That's why I'm worried that Elim SR, this is what this is talking about. So if you kill somebody that's 3 less than you, you get 1 additional to the base, like 7 SR. I'm so confused. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to continue reading through this because I want to get through this video. So you have bonus SR per elim at each of these. So if you get kills in the... If you're first... Hold on. Interesting. Wait. Hold on. Bonus elim. So if you finish first, does every elim you get a bonus of 4? And if you finish top 4, every elim you get for the whole game? Or is it when you hit top 15, you're getting 1 bonus per? Then when you get top 13 or top 10, you're getting 2 bonus per. This doesn't make any sense. This is very poorly like described. Because ideally, to me, there should be a base amount that you get for an elim. Call it 7. And then if they're the same level of you, is this saying you're getting 2 on top of that? And then if you're in the top 10, you're getting 2 more on top of that? Or is this saying if you make it to top 4, every kill that you got before that is going to get a bonus on top of that? Kind of like competitive play in custom tournaments where your kill multiplier or your kill bonus is determined by your final rank, not the current rank that which you got the kill. So if you get a kill early game, the bonus isn't determined until your final placement, and then all of your kills have that bonus added to it. I'm going to be interested to see what all this means because this is kind of poorly worded. Adjusted per round to align with the new team focus system. Kills SR cap. This is not making a ton of sense to me. Anyways, deployment fees are a little higher, but you're getting way more per play for high placements. And then the kill SR is going to be some weird, funky set of numbers to get you some decent SR probably. We've removed death penalties from ranked resurgence. While these penalties were originally intended to increase the value of each life, they often shifted the player mindset from playing to win to playing not to die, which to me, I'm going to be honest, is kind of the same thing. Though encouraging survival is valuable, we found this approach ultimately reduced the fun and competitiveness of matches. I agree with that. We're choosing to forego death penalties this season and will closely monitor how this change affects both gameplay dynamics and SR progression moving forward. I like that. Getting rid of the death penalty is big for me. Personally, because I die a lot. Whatever. Restrictions shared with Battle Royale, so all the same thing, gas, grenades, rocket launchers, all that's going to be gone. Buy stations, ranked regulated inventory. Interesting. So I don't know if that means that some buy stations are only going to have like 3 self-reses. Or if it's just saying like it's going to have a limited number of types of things you can buy. Public events, so Circle 3 fire sale and a Circle 4 restock. That's interesting. We're getting 2 public events. All other public events are disabled, and these are happening every single time, I'm assuming. Ranked rewards are unified across BR and Resurgence mode. Hold on, so we're not getting like a new ranked Resurgence skin? This looks like a new skin, does it not? No, that might be the same skin. So we don't even get a new ranked Resurgence skin? Mode-specific progress tracking. Seasonal elimination challenges and division rank progress are tracked separately for Resurgence. Okay. Elimination milestone rewards. You get 25 elimination sticker, 250 elimination sticker, and 1,000 eliminations. Weapon blueprint. Oh, sorry. Camo for this 250. And then a weapon blueprint for 1,000 eliminations. Okay. The following items are now restricted in ranked play. They weren't before. Search and destroy contracts. We haven't seen those yet anyways, I don't think. Experimental gas grenades, neurogas mines, shock charges, and impact grenades. Interesting. Okay. Impact grenades was kind of a meta, I think. These changes are part of ongoing effort to maintain competitive integrity and ensure a fair, balanced ranked play experience. Loot economy. New weapons added to ground loot. Is this still for ranked play or are we moved on from ranked play? I don't know if we're talking about ranked play still. I'm assuming this is moved on. Loot and economy. Season 4 weapons are now available as ground loot across all core modes. So that's going to be like, LC10. What else came in season? FFAR? Taz, I will be live tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow for the update. Battle Royale, care package kill streak. So if you get a care package kill streak, which I think is going to be new, it's going to have rare loot and Battle Royale. Care package contents have been updated to include a chance the following rare items: Specialist, Hand Cannon, Bunker Buster, Armor Satchel, Self-Revive, Door Barricade, Ammo Box, and Armor Box. Resurgence and Plunder. There's new updated lootable perks: Shrouded, Irradiated, Loot Master, Cold-Blooded, Reactive Armor, and Bird's Eye. Okay. Contracts, Battle Royale, Most Wanted spawns. Most Wanted contracts will now only begin appearing after the first circle. This is interesting because in big map, at least in ranked play and competitive play, this is the meta. Everybody lands on a Most Wanted and gets that done immediately. Yeah, Jacob, I'll go back and look at that because that's what I was thinking. So give me a chance to go back and look at that in a second. Let me read through all this and then I'll go back and look at that. So Most Wanted contracts no longer spawn in the first circle. They won't happen until the first circle ends, which is crazy because a lot of teams land on these as a way to start their game. It sounds like they want this to be a regain tactic for teams to get these later in the game to get their teammates back. Contract reveal timings below outlines the final circle in which various contracts will spawn on the map. No more contracts will spawn at all once the fourth circle ends. No contracts after the fourth circle is crazy. Bomb plant doesn't happen after circle 3. Supply run doesn't happen after circle 3. Below outlines the final circle in which, so circle 3 is the last time supply runs will spawn. Circle 4 is the last time Most Wanted. I don't understand why they would do this. No contracts will spawn after circle 4. I mean, I guess that's okay. Because what do you have? Circle 5 and 6, and then 7's like the rotating circle. That's probably fine. I'm not all that upset about it. Most Wanted contracts will now only begin appearing after the first circle ended. Double the monetary payout for killing a Most Wanted target. Interesting. We've seen some minor problems with the Most Wanted contract being primary completed right on drop and being completed with little to no conflict more often than desired, along with the lack of contracts later in the game and BR map. That's fair. Okay. Because a lot of times people take all the Most Wanted contracts and then when you need to regain, there's no Most Wanted contracts. I get that. I understand the reason for them doing it. It's just interesting. It's gonna change the starting meta for competitive play. We'll be doing some readjustments to the contract spawns and BRs and the rewards for killing Most Wanted targets to address this. Okay, interesting. New perks in Resurgence and Plunder Loot Master. This spawns additional items from supply caches and gives higher chance to find tacticals, lethals, cache, field upgrades, kill streaks. So it's like kind of like Scavenger. When you kill somebody, you get more ammo, armor, and money. Loot Master is a perk that's going to give you more stuff out of crates, but only available in Resurgence and Plunder via ground loot. That's crazy. Okay. Adjustments. Reactive armor now regenerates up to full armor over 35 seconds instead of, I think it might have been 30 before. I could be wrong. Tracker. Reduce total marked targets from 5 to 1. Close range duration decreased from 3.75 seconds to 1 second. Mid range from 5 seconds to 1 second. And long range duration from 7. So they basically are nerfing Tracker. The Combat Scout style effect of Tracker was originally intended to support long range play. Over time, it became more dominant at short to mid ranges with wall penetrating visibility removed. The perk was rebalanced to mark multiple enemies, but 5 proved excessive. We're returning to a focus on your current target to better align with its intended role. And it sounds like they're really trying to change how long it lasts. And it's not going to last very long in close to mid range either. So if you throw a smoke and somebody's shooting you, you're going to light up, but then that lighting up is going to go away after 1 second. Now, if they continue to shoot you and they track you perfectly, you're just going to stay lit up. But they're nerfing that to make that a little less overpowered through smokes and stuff like that. Grenadier equipment is now deployed faster. That's good. Health regeneration delay from explosives reduced to from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. That's kind of good. That's going to be a decent perk. Bomb squad damage reduction now applies to self-inflicted explosive damage. So if you nade yourself, it also saves you from that. Explosive damage reduction increased from 30 to 45%. Interesting. So that's going to be a little bit buffed. Restock equipment regeneration time increased from 50 to 60 seconds. So restock doesn't happen as fast. Is that not quartermaster? I thought that was quartermaster. Am I tweaking? Scavenger, the amount of cash drop decreases from 1,500 to 1,000. Still going to be decent, but that's getting a pretty solid nerf. Reflexes, the explosive delay time increased from 1.5 to 1.6 seconds. It's a small increase, but that's massive. Anybody who runs reflexes and runs through like claymores, prox mines, that type of stuff, this is going to help out big time. This change is intended to give players just enough time to react in moments like reaching the top of an ascender. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Weapons, new weapons of Olympia Special, double barrel shotgun, very high damage and respectable range, but requires frequent reloading. This is 100% going to be broken. 100%. I'm guessing this will be broken. Anytime they've added double barrel shotguns or anything like this, they break them, and they are very, very, very good. So we'll see how that goes. Beavis and Butthead event reward. So you have to play the Beavis and Butthead event to get this. Pickaxe melee, prepared to strike gold with a deadly pickaxe, a short range melee weapon that's worth more than its weight in lethality. Pick your target apart using a variety of swipes, slashes, and overhead attacks. Again, through the Beavis and Butthead reward or event reward. New attachments. All right, so we knew about these. The SVD full auto mod. This is going to turn the SVD sniper into a fully auto weapon with a high fire rate, improved handling and spread, stronger vertical recoil, and a rebalanced damage profile. Complements the new fire type while still delivering impressive firepower. Blocks. It's going to block a stock, underbarrel, barrel, and magazine attachments. And then TR2 close quarters auto conversion converts the TR2 into a fully automatic weapon with a fast fire rate that gradually slows down with sustained fire, improves handling at the cost of damage range, equips a new default barrel and magazine, and unlocks an exclusive extended magazine, blocks barrel attachments. I want to say this is going to sort of turn this into a close range weapon, but I could be wrong about that. I'm assuming that's what CQB stands for, is close quarters something. So we'll see what this ends up turning in. I already like the TR2 a little bit. It's not meta. You're never going to use this in like real matches, but like in casuals doing camo grinding, the TR2 was really fun to use. So hopefully this turns this into a nice little automatic weapon. Gulag loadouts, Gulag pistol rounds. Pistols using the Gulag will now come equipped with following attachments: Kepler Microflex, nice. Compensator, nice. Extended mag, nice. That's actually going to be really good. I like that. Default loadouts. Preset loadout adjustments and okay, so they're basically changing the default loadouts that you get before you can unlock like building your own loadouts. They're kind of changing those. We're not gonna really talk about that. Let me read through this real quick, and then I can kind of give a summary of each one. Penalty, vertical recoil penalty reduced from 25%. So rapid fire on the AK, recoil improvement increased. I don't want to read through every single one of these, but that is a lot to go through. All right, so I just looked through this entire section, and it's going to be kind of weird. I'm not going to read through every single one of these for every gun because they essentially do the same thing for every gun. But we'll use the AK as an example, and then you can kind of apply this to all of the guns with slightly different tweaks here and there, where instead of 5% and to 8% and maybe 10% to 11%, they're kind of changing little things on each of the attachments here, but the AK will be a good example for this. So for the rapid fire attachment on the AK, vertical recoil penalty is reduced from 25% to 15%. So if you put rapid fire on your weapons, usually it has a recoil penalty. That penalty is being reduced. So rapid fire will be less hurtful to your recoil. It's going to be like that on all the weapons. I'm just going to show you on the AK because I don't want to have to go through this on every single weapon. The recoil springs is getting a buff. So rapid fire is getting a recoil buff. Recoil springs is getting a recoil buff. So if you already use recoil springs, it's going to get better. It's going from 5% to 8%. Gain twist barrel is getting even more bullet velocity. Short barrel is getting a buff on its sprint to fire speed for jumping and its ADS speed for jumping. Compensator is getting a vertical recoil buff. Ported compensator is getting a vertical recoil and a first shot recoil buff. Muzzle brake's getting a buff to its first shot recoil. The lightweight foregrip's getting an idle sway improvement, so a buff. Precision foregrip's getting a buff. Ergonomic grip's getting a buff. So pretty much all of these things are getting buffed. I don't see any of these that are getting nerfed. So just know that all of these attachments on each weapon, it's going to be the same thing for each weapon for all the same attachments, essentially. Yeah, all the same attachments are getting buffed, just slightly different values for each one. Like recoil springs on the last gun was 5% to 8%. Now it's 7% to 10%. So it's getting like a 3% buff. But it's going to be like that on all of these weapons. I think this is every weapon in the game, if I'm being honest. Now, what I will show you guys is the guns that are actually getting nerfs and buffs. So the Krig is the first one that I've seen that's getting a nerf. It's getting a damage range nerf. The damages are staying the same, but the range at which you get those damages is getting nerfed. So instead of 55 meters at the longest range drop off, it's 49. So that drop off happens 6 meters sooner. Let's see. The MCW is getting a close to mid range buff, and then a long range nerf by 1 point. So not by much, but the ranges are getting a little bit buffed. So a range buff, but a damage nerf at its longest range. The STG is getting buffed by, oh my God. The STG is getting 11 damage points of a buff at its close range, 6 damage points of a buff at its mid range, and 6 points of damage buff at its long range. M13B is getting a 10-point buff and a range buff. So far we've got, let me do this again. Krig's getting nerfed. MCW is getting a little buff and a little nerf, mostly a buff though. STG is getting a big damage buff. M13B is getting a damage and a range buff. Kind of crazy. Let's see. The SMGs are going to have the same thing with all of the attachments and whatnot. Jackal does not have the recoil springs buff. Interesting. Or if that's a typo or if that's supposed to be like that. We're looking for SMGs that actually got damage value changes. The Striker's getting a damage range buff at its first damage range, but then damage value nerfs at its middle and long range. The BAS-P is getting a damage range buff at all ranges. The Vaznev is getting a damage and range buff at its different ranges. And the VEL-46 is getting a damage range buff and damage buff. I don't care about shotguns, but the Reclaimer's getting a little bit of a range and damage buff. LMGs, let's see. All Black Ops 6 LMGs flinch resistance improved by 15%. That's good. No damage or range buffs on any of those. Marksman rifles. No damage or range buffs on those. With this update, we're focusing on the sniper class by bringing several options and transforming the Victus XMR into an infinite range one-shot headshot weapon. We're getting another new one-shot infinite range. These changes are designed to give each sniper a distinct role and support a variety of playstyles. We'll be keeping a close eye on performance and community feedback to balance and keep the class engaging. All right. So again, a lot of this is like just attachments being buffed probably, but then the Moors is getting a longer range to its first damage range and a damage buff and a longer range to its last damage range. FJX is getting a damage buff, not one shot, but it's going to be a better 2-shot option and a longer range. MCPR 300 is getting a damage range buff. And then the Victus is going to be, it says it was going to be, now has infinite one-shot headshot potential. Bullet velocity decreased from 800 to 610. So you're going to have to lean your, or lead your shots a little bit. And also there's going to be some bullet drop off. Better aim down sight speed. And it removed its damage range 1. Interesting. And it also decreased flinch resistance. So it will have more flinch. Interesting. Okay, so this is gonna now be a one-shot sniper at infinite. Everyone's gonna go crazy on the MW3 guns. That STG is looking kind of good. STG's looking kind of good. All right, pistols, same thing. Attachments are all being buffed. We know all that. Okay, that's cool. UI, UX adjustments, helicopter icons. Enemy helicopters will now display an icon even when flying in extreme altitudes. Yeah, because sometimes if they get really high up, the icon disappears. We had that actually happen last game, I think. Previously, these icons would disappear if the helicopter was too high despite being overhead. Yeah. Advanced splash settings. Quality of life. Added new accessibility options for in-game splash modifications, allowing players to customize their experience based on personal preference or need. Players can now adjust position, center or right, visibility on or off, splash notifications. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Bug fixes. Let's see. Fix an issue where MW2 and MW3 weapon attachments were missing pros and cons to their descriptions. Good. Fix an issue where the striker burst or strider burst mod attachment didn't update the weapon HUD text to reflect the attachment name. Fix an issue where Black Cell daily challenge for 5 ADS kills was incorrectly, man, so many typos. Back Cell was incorrectly tracking hipfire kills. Fix an issue. This just tells you how many issues there are in the game, is that they can't even get these right. Like they have typos in their bug fixes section. It's crazy to me. It just goes to show how little like attention to detail is in this game. Fix an issue where Gunslinger calling card challenge. Okay. Fix an issue where XM4 military camo rewards were not granting XP. Fix an issue that caused certain underbarrel attachments to show as incompatible when equipping the G grip underbarrel. Okay. Fix an issue where the Olympia's Gold Tiger camo would not unlock. How is that an issue when we don't even have that gun yet? That's interesting. That's very weird. We don't even have that yet. Fix an issue where loadout weapons could spawn after a player is bought back. This is going to be really annoying because this was actually a really cool bug. I loved this bug. If you got bought back directly under where you got back, like where you spawned in. So when you got bought back, you were in the sky. Where your icon was, if you went straight down from where your icon was, your loadout weapons would spawn. Fix an issue where basic, this is gonna suck because this was when you're regaining, this was always like a free loadout weapons if you could find them. Fix an issue where basic training challenge could progress multiple times in a single match. Okay. Fix an issue resulting in HUD not displaying after a player rejoined. That's good. Fix an issue causing slug rounds to use an incorrect ammunition type. That's weird. Glad they're fixing that. Fix an issue causing misalignment while in ADS with the Essex. That's good. Fix that. I've not used that, but anybody who does use that's probably pissed off by it. Fix an issue that resulted in players missing their weapon upon redeploy after a jailbreak. I do feel like that's happened to me where we had a jailbreak and when I came back, I didn't have any weapon. And it's like, what am I supposed to do in that situation? All right, so we'll see how this all plays out. Obviously, the ranked play. I'm actually going to go talk about the ranked play stuff again because I think we got some clarity on how some of the SR is going to work. I was going to go into my intro or my outro, but I want to talk about this real quick. So we were kind of confused on the SR per kill. So it sounds like this is the SR per kill. So basically, you get in top 15, you get 1 point per kill. When you get to top 13, you get 1 point per kill. When you get to top 10, you get 1 point or 2 points per kill. When you get to top 8, it's 2 points per kill. Top 6 is 2 points per kill. Top 4, 3 points per kill. Top first place, you get 4 points per kill. If they are 3 levels below you, you're only going to get 1 extra point per kill. If they're 2 levels below you, you get 1 extra point per kill. 1 level below you, you get 2 extra. If they're the same level, you get 2. If they're 1 level above you, you get 3 extra points. 2 levels above you, you get 3 extra points. And then 3 levels above you, 4 extra points. So basically, like if you're in top 10, you're going to get a kill. It's going to be 2 points. If that person is 1 level above you, it'll be a 5 point kill. You get the 3 plus the 5, I think is how this is going to work. As compared to Big Map, which I have DM'd to me here. Hold on. If I pop up the Big Map kind of SR, it's, I believe, if you're top 15, it's a 6 point kill. And then if they're the same level as you, it's add 8 to that for 14 total. Or it's an 8 point kill. And then if you're in top 15, you get 6 extra points. Top 10, you get 8 extra points. And so sometimes at the end of the game, if you killed a player that was really good and you were like in first place, you got a 22 point kill. That's going to be a huge difference between Resurgence ranked and Big Map ranked. However, because they're making it so you get points for all of your teammates' kills too, that means that like if each of you got a kill previously, you would each get like 15 points without getting like an elimination SR on each one, or like assist SR. You would each get like somewhere between 10 to 15 points for a kill. Here, you might each get 6 points for each person's three total kills for your whole team if you kill an entire squad. So that'll be like 18 points total. And so that kind of makes sense. I think that will kind of add up and be decent. If your whole team takes out a whole other team, you have the opportunity for about somewhere between 15 to 20 points. Previously, you had the opportunity for 15 to 20 points unless you were really coordinated and all three of you shot all three enemies. Then you'd get like 45 points out of it because everybody was getting every point out of every kill. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. The deployment fees are going to be a little higher. Placement SR is going to be higher, which is going to be interesting and nice, I guess. Did I miss that? I thought there was a table that showed how much SR you got for each placement. I feel like I missed that. Oh, placement SR. It's already right here. Yeah. That's my bad. It's right there. Yeah. So like if you get first place and your team has a total of 20 kills, you're going to get 150 points. Plus, let's just say it's an average of 5 points per kill, 100 or 20 kills. That's another 100 points in elims. You can get like a 250 point game. So I think there's going to be a decent chance to get elimination SR and placement SR, but it does heavily feel like they want you to get to the end game. People are going to be playing for the end game to get that huge bonus, whether this is 75 or the 150. Winning the game is going to be massive. But once you get to 75, it may not be a bad idea to say, you know what, we may not get that win, but we're going to get as many kills as we can and kill the rest of the lobby. And then even at that point, you have a chance to win the game if you kill everybody. So it may make sense to still play kind of smart, but also kind of aggressive in the end circles. Anyways, that's the update. We're going to see how this plays tomorrow. We know every single update gets buggy. We know every single update has all sorts of issues, lag and everything. We've only had like one single update in the last like 50 updates that wasn't laggy and was like perfectly smooth. So be prepared for that. We'll see how that goes. Not a lot of content with this update, not a lot of new weapons, not a lot of new stuff, but we'll make it work and we'll have fun with it. And as always, thank you guys for watching the video and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.